Right, we are joined by Colm Boohig to talk about Novak Djokovic. Colm, actually, do you know what we're going to do here? Just to start this off, I've got a few things to say about this Novak Djokovic situation. The ball goes to the lineswoman and hits her in the neck. She goes down. Novak Djokovic is then ejected from the tournament, essentially. What I want to do here, first of all, because I'm sure you're going to mention this, is a clip from Djokovic talking about a similar incident in 2016.
When you threw the racket, does it concern you that one day that could cost you dearly? I mean, if the ball had hit someone today, is that something you think you ought to address?
You guys are unbelievable.
Why is it unbelievable?
Yeah, because you're always picking this kind of things. It's incredible.
You keep doing these things. You know,
I keep doing these things well.
I'm just saying,
why don't I get suspended then?
I'm saying you were close, weren't you? That's what I'm saying.
I'm close. I'm still not suspended, so if I'm not close, I'm not close.
If that ball had hit a spectator, it could have been serious.
It could have been, sure. Or it could have snowed. It could have been snow in O2 Arena today, but it didn't.
So you don't think that gives you're not concerned about your mindset?
So I'm the only player that shows his frustration on the court, right? That's what you want to say. I'm the only player that is showing that.
You are showing that,
Sorry?
You're one of the top-ranked players in the world.
So
you are showing this frustration. I'm asking you, do you think it's an issue for you?
It is not an issue for me. It's not the first time that I did it.
Oh, no.
Right. Next question, please. All right, Serbian questions up here. Thank you.
Yeah, he's not wrong. It's not the first time he did it. It's certainly not the last time he did it. Last night might be one of the last times he did it, though, because the ball eventually went astray.
Oh, karma is a bitch. He deserves everything he gets. This item is over. We can finish it off. You go on. Keep going. Keep going. Keep digging there.
I guess, well, he says it's not the first time he did it. My point, Colm, is that this was seen to be coming for a while now. First of all, let's just set the scene on what you think of the whole incident last night, Colm.
It was coming. As you say, it's been coming for a few years, but it was coming in the match itself as well. So for people who didn't see the match, it was finely poised. So Djokovic's opponent, Pablo Carreño Busta, was playing really well. He's a former semi-finalist at the US Open. It was 4-all, but Djokovic got 5-4 up on his serve and then had 3 set points in a row on Carreño Busta's serve. And he lost all 3. And on the third one he lost, Djokovic, he smacked the ball against the sideboard in frustration. But he was given no warning, so he played on. Then at love 30 down on his serve at 5-all, he went down with a shoulder injury and he got treatment on that, which obviously aggravated him a bit. And then 2 points later, when he lost his serve and Carreño Busta went 5-6 ahead, courtesy of a passing shot against Djokovic, Djokovic smacked the ball away in anger and hit the lineswoman in the throat. And you could see there's an angle that you'll find on Twitter of Djokovic's reaction when the ball hits the lineswoman. It's, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Followed by, you're fine. Get up, you're fine. And lo and behold, we are going to have a first-time Grand Slam champion on the men's side because of what happened. Incredible.
We need to remember one thing here, Colm. It was an accident.
It was an accident. But do you know, when I saw it at first, do you know what came into my mind, bizarrely enough, was David Beckham's flick out against Diego Simeone at France 98, in that it was clearly wrong. And then you're thinking, when you saw it at first, I was like, oh, that's a bit soft, but it's wrong and it's not right to do. The only difference is Beckham meant to do it definitely against Simeone. Djokovic didn't.
Yeah.
But because he didn't, it doesn't matter. And intent is irrelevant in this case. They're the rules.
Agreed.
And in fact, intent is irrelevant for Novak Djokovic's whole summer. That's his theme of his summer.
Yeah, I agree. So just the USTA statement says, in accordance with the Grand Slam rulebook, following his actions of intentionally hitting a ball dangerously or recklessly within the court or hitting a ball with negligent disregard of the consequences, the US Open tournament referee defaulted Novak Djokovic. So you're right, it doesn't matter about the intent. So what I'm talking about here is this global backlash towards Novak Djokovic, who has been accused of going out of his way to injure a worker at the stadium last night, which is a terrible accusation. I feel that the backlash will be, there will be fuel poured on the fire of this backlash as well as a result of Novak Djokovic being who he is, because he is an anti-vaxxer, because he's had a terrible time with coronavirus. This will all create this tone of, this is an amazing opportunity to pile on Novak Djokovic. I challenge you to think of a parallel universe here where Andy Murray or Rafa Nadal or Roger Federer has done such a thing. And would we see the same level of kind of accusatory tones towards them? Probably not.
Have either of you seen, Ger, have either of you seen Nick Kyrgios's tweet since this happened?
What did he say?
He said, swap me for Joker's incident, accidentally hitting the ball kid in the throat. How many years would I be banned for? And he did a poll. Is it 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years? And 20 years is the winner with 52%. And at the time of speaking, it has over 160,000 votes. So the whole tennis world is out in force. Alexander Zverev, who now has a great chance to win his first ever Grand Slam, has come out and said, rules are rules. He has to go because he's delighted that Djokovic is gone. Everybody is.
Well, he deserves it. He deserves it, Owen. He deserves every single last thing that's coming his way because he is the biggest asshole in world sport at the moment. He put the entire tour at risk. He's trying to steal money from the women. He's anti-vax. And he's promoting all sorts of rubbish on his own Instagram. So he deserves everything he gets. He walked into this. This is not somebody who is an innocent man. And the other thing is, just like 5 points previously, he'd smashed the ball into what could have been, what could have hit some of the cameramen. He had no wanton disregard for human life, is what I'm seeing here, Owen. Wanton disregard.
Yeah.
And
he actually smashed it into the halfway system.
The defense of him is, what would it be if it was Federer or whatever? Everybody would have said, I mean, Federer has hit somebody in the head with a ball before, I'm pretty sure. Hasn't he? And Andy Murray's hit a ball boy accidentally and was kind. And we could believe that from the kindness of his heart, he cared about the impact of his actions. Djokovic doesn't give a crap.
Well, there are previous examples. So Tim Henman did it. Tim Henman in the 90s in a doubles match at Wimbledon hit the ball away in anger and hit a ball girl's ear and was defaulted immediately. Yeah. Denis Shapovalov, who now Karina Busta will play in the quarterfinal, he earlier this year threw a racket at an umpire in frustration, not on purpose, but it hit him. He was defaulted. David Nalbandian did it in the Queen's final a few years ago, hit a linesperson in the shin with his racket in frustration. Didn't mean it. The only difference between all those three examples and Djokovic's example, and this is why he's most in trouble, is because all three of those players stuck around and apologised in person. Djokovic fled the scene and later on posted on social media to apologise. And he's in real trouble for that. There's a potential $20,000 fine for that.
Well, I think I'm with you on one point here. It couldn't happen to a less nice person. And I mean, you're right. You're right. Karma is great and all that. And for that reason, that's great that this has happened to him. But this is a bit of a freak moment. This is like the Ryder Cup fan getting hit by Brooks Koepka's golf ball. When there are balls flying around the place at an unbelievable high velocity, crazy things are going to happen. And I know in tennis there's a far greater chance of actually hitting somebody at that close proximity. But it was an accident at the start, and to say that he was going out that it was some sort of deliberate act from Novak Djokovic is ridiculous. And I think that the level of pile-on here is greater because he's not a very nice person.
No, literally nobody is saying that he did it on purpose. Literally nobody is saying that he did it on purpose. What they're saying is that he had no care or regard for the position. He's a world-class athlete with some of the best reaction times and understanding of spatial awareness. He's in the middle of a tennis court. He knows there are people behind him, and he's taking the risk.
That's kind of suggesting that there is intent here.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Intent or no, it's irrelevant. It's like he should have known better, and that's his job.
You're saying that
as a result of not knowing better, he's going to pay the price. Out you go. Sling your hook. We've had enough of your type around here. Good luck.
But you're saying that he's a world-class athlete. That, for me, you're basically alluding to the fact that he's in control. He kind of knows what he's doing. That's a fairly loaded thing to point out his skill level here.
I don't think it is.
What relevance does that have? You're saying that he's well in control to. Are you saying that because he's a world-class athlete, he's
smashing the ball into that poor woman's throat?
There was no smashing. I think what definitely didn't help Djokovic's case, and he was right to be defaulted, but what didn't help his case was the reaction of the lineswoman, because there was a guttural squeal when it contacted with her throat. Because I imagine the shock of it more than anything was what really did it. And actually also what I've been seeing on Twitter, and I think it's grossly unfair, is that a lot of Djokovic defenders are pointing out the fact that the lineswoman went down very easy and she made a meal of it, but she got hit in the throat.
She's not Marcus Rashford.
She wasn't expecting it. But so I do feel sorry for I very, very much feel sorry for her in the whole situation. But the guttural scream was actually, it was quite uncomfortable to watch because she was obviously in a lot of distress.
And then he
but I
touches her with his
couldn't get over Djokovic's reaction to it. Djokovic's reaction, it came in 2 stages. Initial shock and then, oh, please get up. A bit like Gaza's tackle in Italia 90. It was kind of, get up, please get up, please get up. But it was too late. And it was a 12-minute conversation happened with the tournament referee after that incident. Now, a lot of people were saying that Novak Djokovic was trying to negotiate his way out of what he had just done by saying, oh, it was a complete accident, you saw her, she got up. But apparently, he was told immediately, you're out. But what they allowed him to do was process the decision. Now, that 12-minute conversation would not have happened if there was a crowd. Can you imagine if Arthur Ashe Stadium was packed? Can you imagine the boos? It would have been one of the greatest sporting moments ever.
We've been denied. We have been denied. Right. That is like, we will always regret that we were denied Djokovic being booed off Arthur Ashe Court.
That would have been. I will say, anybody, like, there has, considering I put up that tweet yesterday, there has been a weird sense of Djokovic supporters kind of talking about the reaction, which is honestly the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, you try getting hit by a mid-speed Novak Djokovic shot to the neck, chances are you're going to be writhing in pain, is what I would say. Just because it's not a 200 miles per hour serve doesn't mean it's not going to do serious damage if it strikes you right in the throat.